turning it on for the last time to see if everything works. Voila, it works. So what's happening, guys? This is Emily for Msteak Blog, and in the last video we did an unboxing and assembly of this Odroid-Go Game Boy-like gaming console based on an ESP32 Wi-Fi based embedded module. And yeah, so today we will be looking at how we can prepare the ROM for this emulator and how we can start using games on them. So if you go to the Odroid-Go website, you can see all the necessary information. And today I will be going, I will have to look and see how I can download the ROM and upload it, put it on the SD card, so that I can start using the emulator itself. So I have like a 32 gigabyte SD card with me, and yeah, like you can see, there are a lot of tutorials, and it's a little bit convoluted as to where you can start. So you can say, okay, the first thing is like building this bit done and making an SD card for importing ROM. So maybe we will take a look at what needs to be done there. So it says when you receive the product for the first time, the Go Play app is basically written so you can play the games right away after you put the ROM on your SD card. So we have to, the console itself has the ROM, or the firmware here is already uploaded with the Odroid-Go firmware, and this firmware reads the game ROMs that are installed on the SD card. So now we have to prepare the SD card and install all these ROMs. And as you can see, the default settings are for Windows. I have a Linux machine, so I will probably do this a little bit different. They want you to format it in FAT32 file system. And once the SD card is formatted, okay, they also have the instructions for Linux, which is also great. And what else do we have? Okay, so we have the download section here, which is the skeleton file, uncompressed, and you can see two directories, Odroid and ROMs. And you have to put them in the parent directory of the SD card, as you can see in the picture. And then it says move your games. So move the games to the proper directory under ROMs. Okay, generally the name of the target tree is the abbreviation of the system. So if you have some games, Sega Master Systems, move it to ROMs SMS directory. So okay, so here they say how you have to how you can prepare the SD card itself, but it doesn't really say where you can get the ROMs from, or if there are any ROMs that you can use. So yeah, first thing, we will prepare the SD card, and then we will take a look how we can get the ROMs working. So there you go, SD card. Okay, I'm gonna put them. I have my SD card, and I have the card reader for the SD card, so I'm going to plug it into the, I believe by default the SD card should be FAT32 formatted, but I'm not really sure, but nevertheless we will format the disk again. So I'm going to put it in my card reader. I have my card reader here, put the SD card in, and plug the card reader to my PC. And yeah, let's see. Let's open the terminal. So that you have, okay, sudo. So there I have. Do I see my SD card? It's supposed to be a 32 gigabyte. So here is the STB, which is the 32 gigabyte SD card, and let's get into let's format the disk. Okay, so now we are in the disk formatting menu, so I can do it. So I have to create a boot partition. Oh, I have to create a partition, which is n. When I create an n, it creates a new partition, primary partition. Okay, let's see all the partitions that are available on the SD card. So M, and I should be able to see all the partitions. List unpartitioned space or list non-partition types. Okay, let's print and see. Okay, we already have the SD card and it's already formatted in FAT32 format, so we don't really have to format the new SD card. If not, you know how to do that. So it's basically going into this menu and getting your SD card. So I'm pretty sure my SD card is in the FAT32 format, so that should be fine. Now the next thing is to make two directories, which says, okay, it says download the skeleton file, and I think I will download them, and just downloads. I'm not really sure what if this is supposed to be just empty skeleton files, or if it's supposed to have some contents in them. So nevertheless, we will take a look at what's inside soon. So we have SD card. So there you can see the SD card. It's a zip file. I extract them, and you see SD card. Okay, there seems to be two folders, which I will copy them to my drive. Apparently they're not empty. They seem to have some contents on them. It says data, firmware. There seems to be some lot of folders. Okay, I think it's still okay. They're just firmware, the GoPlay firmware and the MicroPython firmware. So there are two firmwares, and in the data itself, not really sure. And the ROMs also have empty directory. So SMS supposed to be for the, how's it called? Yeah, I just missed that. Yeah, the Sega Master Sync, and the NES is for the Nintendo. Then you have like the GB for Game Boy and the Game Boy Color and so on. So these are different folders for different where all the different ROMs go. Apparently, I will take a quick look if they also have any games which you can directly download from here and play. So if you go up, you can do a couple of things. Like there is the Arduino section, which lets you use this Game Boy as a simple Arduino based device, because this device also has some GPIO breakout, which will let you connect them to any other electronic components. So you can connect them. You can basically use this device as a handheld Arduino that you can plug into different components and work with them. So there is also a description here to do that kind of a setup, which we will maybe take a quick look to see. Okay, it shows you how to use set up the Arduino IDE and how you can program different stuff to you through the Arduino IDE so that you can use this device. So this is not what we are interested in. We want to see how we can use the GoPlay, the device, what it's being sold for. So this is basically for playing the ROM. So playing the games, and here you can see, if you go to the section with emulator usage, GoPlay, you can see it shows you how to use GoPlay and some information about how to reset and stuff, and then the emulator and how to use the emulator itself. So again, there is not really not much information about the different games that are available. And there is also this MicroPython section. So this is very similar to using your device as Arduino. So instead of Arduino IDE, you can use the MicroPython language to program the ESP on this device. So that's also not what we are interested in. Apparently, there seems to be no game. So you have to first go look for games, the different game emulators that are available. Okay, so I think they basically sell you the device, but they don't really tell you where you can get the games or where you can buy the games so that you can play on this console. So this information is apparently missing from this whole wiki. Let's go to the main side and say, okay, play games, how to use the game emulator. This is what we just did. And you have something to do with updating the tool, and you have some advanced stuff. Hardware tuning for silent and sound volume. So this is not what we're interested. How to use the game emulator. Update, go play. Okay, there are different emulators that are available. So that says Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Gear, Nintendo, NES, Sega Master System, ColecoVision. But what we need are the games. Here I can see the third-party apps and games download pack. So it says here you will find all the third-party apps and games that have been released so far. Blah blah blah. The list has been maintained. Okay. Let's open that and see. Okay, that's it for the information. There seems to be another. It seems to be linking you to another Odroid site where you can download the games and stuff from. So it says pack to the root of your SD card. All the instructions are in each folder. So there seems to be a folder which is gonna take me to some Google Drive. I will download them anyway. So it seems to be 166 megabyte worth of downloads, which I will put them here for now. Okay, when it's unpacked, it's about 200, almost 300 megabytes worth of stuff in there. Copy the whole the content of the whole folder here and overwrite onto the merge. So I'm gonna merge. I'm gonna overwrite them all. The first link should be enough. So if you download this, you have everything that's listed in the rest of this link here. So we wait until the copying is done, and then we can turn on the device. So it seems like it's going to take a while because there seems to be a lot of small files, and we will continue once the copying is done. Okay, now that the files are copied, and I put the SD card back into this card slot here of the Odroid-Go, and when we turn it on, by default it loads the Odroid-Go firmware, or the Go Play firmware, what they call. And as you can see, you have the different consoles or different emulators, and you can choose them, and when you select them, it's supposed to list all the games that you have. But apparently the zip file that we downloaded doesn't include any of these ROM files. Maybe it's because of the copyright protection and they are not openly available, so you have to buy them from some source or download them from source, which I'm not aware at this point, but maybe I have to do a little bit of digging around in the internet to see where I can download or buy these games for this, which works on this emulator. But for now, what also works is when you turn it off and turn it on, pressing the B button, it takes you to this menu which lets you choose the different firmwares that you can load and make it work. So I tried a couple of them, but some of them work and some of them don't. For example, the only thing that worked for me was the Doom, and there are like apparently two different versions of the Doom, and one says standalone, the other one says Doom. The Doom version worked for me, so For example, when you want to choose which firmware you want to load, you choose them, press select, and then it shows you that you can that you have to press the start button. And when you press the start button, then it verifies the ROM, erases the previous ROM, loads this new ROM, and then you are good to using that particular firmware. So it takes a while until it erases and it writes the ROM into the memory. I think it copies the file, the ROM, the firmware file from the SD card onto the local flash memory of the ESP32, and then it executes the file from there. So that's why it has to do this, perform this erasing operation and writing operation. So we wait until it's the write is complete, which apparently takes a while. Let me zoom into the okay. I tried playing the Doom, and like I said, one of them was working. It worked fine. But at this point, I found that the display was the brightness of the display was not that good. It was not that bright, so I had some problems with the contrast and the viewing angle. So maybe they provide some kind of fix, which I have to also look it up. And there you see, okay, there you go. The firmware is loaded, and there you have the game. And wait until it loads, and then by default it goes into this demo version, and then you can click the menu and then start playing the game itself. So choose. Okay, so I choose the easiest version, hurt me plenty, whatever. And like I said, I played this game before. Okay, so now let's say, so there you go. You have the game, you can play around. Like I said, the brightness is really low, and let's see if we can increase the brightness. So somehow, yeah. At some point it goes into the freezes, so I'm not really sure what's wrong. And none of the buttons work at this point. Yeah, they only reserve is to turn it on, turn it off. So all in all, that's how the whole firmware thing works. And like I said, the first time, once you load the firmware, you power it off and power it on. Since the firmware file resides on the ESP32's memory, local memory, it boots away immediately without giving you this option. So every time you want to load a new game, you have to like load the games which are these firmware-based games, and you have to reload them every time you boot the device. So yeah, so that's it for the video playback of this device, and I wasn't really able to test the speaker capabilities and also the GPIO programming capability. Maybe we'll do another video of how we can use this Odroid-Go for not just playing games, but also for doing other stuff through the programming interfaces. And also, if you're interested, you can also check out their website, because they also offer some kind of accessories which you can plug in using this GPIO and extend its features, which apparently, if you happen to work with Arduino-based microcontrollers or microcontrollers in general, you don't have to buy them. You can directly plug them. You just have to look up at the pin, the GPIOs, and then you can use them. So that's it for this video of the Odroid-Go. And we, like I said, in this video, we just try to see the gaming ecosystem of this device, and apparently there was not much that was available out of the box and out from the open. So when you buy this device, spending around 30 to 40 euros, and you don't have previously bought ROM files, then all you are left with are these openly available games like Doom and Wolfenstein and so on. So there's not really much out there. If not, you have to go digging around the internet look for the files and then download and then work with it. So maybe the gaming part of the device is not really there yet, or maybe it is not provided out of the box, so you have to do a lot of hacking and downloading, uploading stuff. But apart from that, it's good to have a device which is compact and handy, and since you have a battery which runs with a display, you can use it to run, load, or program some kind of programs, store it on the SD card, and then connect it to the hardware, and you can do some kind of hacking with this device as well. So yeah, that's my opinion, or that's my view, or that's what I experienced using this Odroid-Go. And yes, so if you like this video and if you want to know more, or if you learned more, and if you know where to get the ROMs, I would really appreciate if you can put them in the comments below. And if you like this video and if you want to know anything more about this device in particular, just write in the comments, and also don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. So thank you for watching, guys. See you until next time.